Okay, so we are ready to get started. If you have your wine, how many of you have wine?
We all do.
Oh, good, awesome. Okay, so if you have your wine, you can take that out and have it all ready to go. And we will jump in and get started. As I said, I put all of my contact information in the chat box. So as we are going through this tonight, if you need to, contact me for any reason, or if you win something, you can send me an email or shoot me a text message. I always tell everybody to save me on their phone as Wine Jenna. So if you ever need anything, you can quickly get a refill. It's almost as better than, just taking a trip to the liquor store. You have me on call, your personal wine shopper. So my name is Jenna Flynn, and I'm a cause entrepreneur with ONEHOPE Wine. ONEHOPE is a cause-centric organization, winery that donates to causes all around the world through our wines, and I get to share their mission and wines to help local organizations fundraise through wine. Okay. Tasting events just like this. Okay, so it's pretty fun. So tonight we're going to be doing a wine and chocolate pairing. So if you happen to have any chocolate, you can taste along with us. If not, grab yourself a pen and paper so you can take some good notes. Ooh, look, you're all prepared. I love it.
We have tons of chocolate and tons of wine.
Oh, I love it. It's just so much fun. So basically what I do is I bring the Napa Valley wine tasting experience to you. So I'm pretty excited to share wine and give hope. Okay. So before we dive into the chocolate and wine pairing, I wanted to allow Jill to share a little bit about what we're raising money for tonight, because I'm so excited that not only do we get to give back to so many other causes, but we also get to give back to Nova and give back to a cause of our host choice. So we get to give an additional 10% back to the cause that our host selects, and that is the nonprofit. So Jill or anybody else, if you want to take it away and just share a little bit about your organization and what we are raising money for tonight.
I think that's me. And I think so everybody here either works for our Nova or has served on the board at Nova. So I think everybody knows, we're here tonight to raise money to support Nova's programs and services in the Bucks County community. We're thankful for Jenna for reaching out to Jill and making that connection and sharing her expertise with us. And we're excited to learn about all the wines that you have and the pairings. And since we're kind of stuck still inside on St. Patrick's Day, we thought this would be a great opportunity to spend our evening drinking virtually together and raising some money at the same point, so at the same time. So
yes, it always is a good reason to raise a glass, and especially raising a glass for good. So I know probably everyone is at home, on this St. Patrick's Day. So it is a good reason to all gather virtually. I remember last year it being my last party that I went to with neighbors on St. Patrick's Day before we no longer did that. So it's kind of come full circle. But let's start off with some trivia. So we want to know, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to do one question. If you want to type your answer in the chat box and see what you can come up with. So let's see, because we're going to be starting off with a little bit of bubbly tonight. How fast can a cork fly out of a champagne bottle?
Ooh, fast.
It can.
Yeah.
I can tell you firsthand because I had a friend come over and she placed an open bottle of bubbly into my fridge laying down with the cork stopper in it. And I went to open up the refrigerator and literally it popped out in my face and went all over. So it can go pretty fast. So see if you can take a guess. How fast can the cork fly out of a champagne bottle? So we have Angela, Penny, Mandy, Jim, Jill. Jill, you got it right on the dot.
really? Right on it?
Wow, Jill.
So yeah, so it can be
Miles an hour.
Wow.
I said 100.
yeah, so 50 miles per hour, which is crazy, right? So that's super fast. which is why you should always cover the cork with your hand after you twist off the cage. Okay, so you should always cover it just in case it comes flying out there.
100 miles per hour because I always shake the bottle up first.
Yeah, well, if you do that,
Look out for Jim.
yeah, another fun fact too is if you forgot to chill any of your bottles tonight and you know that you want to open up a white wine, you can take a wet paper towel and wring it out, and then you just wrap around the bottle of with the paper towel and stick it in the freezer, but stick it upright. Stick it in the freezer for about 15-20 minutes and you will have a chilled bottle. So if you ever, just a little fun tip, if you ever forget to chill your bottle, that always works. Okay, so kind of fun. So if you win any of the trivia questions tonight, just do me a favor and scroll up on the chat box. You can either text me or email me, and then I will give you a coupon code for $10 off of your next order. Okay, so there's lots of opportunities. Okay. All right, so let's, before we just dive into more wine, I just want to tell you a little bit about ONEHOPE, because I know Jim had some questions right away, and I want to make sure you all know a little bit about our history. So the ONEHOPE Vineyard and Winery is located in the American viticulture area of the Rutherford and Napa Valley, right on the famous strip of Highway 29, situated amongst some of the most iconic winemaking brands in the world. So it's adjacent from the Mondavi Winery, located near Cakebread and Sterling Wines. So we are right in the heart of Napa. Okay. Our acclaimed winemakers are Mari Wells Coyle, and she actually came from Sterling Vineyard. So if you know anything about Sterling Vineyard, it's a really well-known winery, and we stole her. And then Tony Coltrane, who is the head winemaker at the Mondavi Winery. And then they also collaborate with Robert Mondavi Jr. as well. So he is a very well-known winemaker in California. And that makes our wines high quality. Okay. And then we have several award-winning wines in our portfolio. So if you know anything about rating wines, they are actually, if you walk into the liquor store, you will see that wines are rated out of 100 points. So it's a pretty interesting system how they do that, but there's tons of different wine competitions around the country in California, and people do that as their job. They rate wines. So it sounds like a pretty fun job to me. And our winemaker is actually one of those people who gets to rate wines on committees. So you will see that we have wines that are rated over 90 points and above, which means that they are exceptional wines. So you are getting a really delicious quality wine with ONEHOPE. Okay, so our commitment to high quality wine is as important as our commitment to the causes that we support. Through every single sale of every bottle, ONEHOPE has donated over $6 million to causes around the world. We have built 3 schools in Guatemala, funded 19,000 or more days of clinical trials for breast cancer research, planted a forest in Indonesia. We've provided 3 million and more meals for children in need. We have found over 80,000 pets a forever home through the SPCA, and delivered 190,000 vaccines to end tropical diseases. And those are just a few of the things that we've been able to support just through sales of bottles of wine. So you'll kind of see as we go through the tasting that every bottle is dedicated to giving back through the ONEHOPE Foundation. And that goes through our 4 pillars of giving. So we support clean water, health, education, pets. We support, all of those different things. We've actually even been able to support a lot of people who've been directly impacted by a lot of the storms that have recently happened when we had that really horrible winter weather in Texas. And they've really been struggling with clean drinking water. So ONEHOPE has actually given back over $25,000 in little mini grants. And there was no purchase necessary. People would just be able to apply for a $50 mini grant and just get that sent to them. So they've done so much to give back. All right. So that's just a little bit of history. I hope, Jim, that answers your questions about who we are and what we do. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do kind of a traditional wine and chocolate pairing. And this would be the same thing if you were to go into any winery and do a wine tasting. So what you're going to want to do is taste from light to dark chocolate. So, or light bodied wines to full bodied wines. So that's why we always start with our bubbly first. So we're going to start with a light white chocolate through the milk chocolate, and then you're going to go on to your darker chocolates. Okay. So by starting with the more understated white chocolate and ending with the darker bitter sweet chocolate, you're going to be able to keep your palate from starting on like overdrive, like going back and forth, and kind of like missing those subtle kind of differences found in more subtle, chocolates and the wines. Okay, so we want to start with a wine that's slightly sweeter than the chocolate. Okay, and that sounds kind of silly, but you want to start with a wine that's sometimes sweeter. Sometimes if you're going right to like your bitter chocolate and the wine, you're not going to get as much of an experience as you're going to miss that and then have to go backwards. And so we want to start with that sweeter chocolate. So you want to opt for a similar style and weight to your chocolate. So when you pair wines with chocolate, try to match the lighter, more elegant flavored chocolates with the lighter bodied wines, and then the stronger chocolate with the more fuller bodied wines. Okay, so bittersweet chocolate tends to pair well with an intense, like in your face California Zinfandel. I don't know if anybody else is a California Zin fan like myself, or even like a really tannin driven cab. So that's going to be more like your fuller bodied wine. So what you want to do, if you have any of your wine, you're going to want to, for all of our wines, you're going to want to go through the 4 S's of wine tasting. And there's somebody else entering our room here. So I'm just going to give it a minute and let them in. We have another friend.
Teresa coming on.
Yeah, I think so. It says T-Bird.
Yep, that's Teresa.
Okay. And while we are waiting for her to join us, why don't you go ahead? I'm going to give you another question. Hello. And I want to know, here's my glass right here. Okay. And I want to know if anybody knows the 4 S's of wine tasting. There's 4 S's of wine tasting. What do you think they are? If you know, drop it in the chat. So we're doing a little bit of a trivia, Teresa. So you can go ahead and drop your answers in the chat box. If you can think of it, there's 4 S's of wine tasting in a specific order. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
Let's see if anybody is a wine expert.
And don't rush us.
Oh, I'm not going to. You have plenty of time.
Sight, smell.
Fishing, swirling, swirling.
There's really, our winemaker likes to tell us that there's 3 S's, but I add a 4th because I think the 4th makes the whole experience kind of better. All right. Smile. Oh, I like that one. Yes, wine does make you smile. All right. Oh, I like these answers. We have a couple here. We've got swirl, smell, sip, savor. We have scent, smell, swirl, sip, savor, smile, and sight, smell, sip, swallow. Which is important to do, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reveal the answer. I would say, Mandy, you are the closest. So Mandy kind of got it right. So whenever you are tasting wine, you want to swirl it, and then it's actually sniff, but smell is the same thing. So, you want to smell it. Then you want to take a sip. And then you want to savor it. So savoring it is where you get to pair your wine with whatever it is you are tasting with it. A lot of people will say that they don't like a particular wine. And I think a lot of times it's not that maybe you don't like the particular wine, but maybe it's because you're not pairing it with the right type of food. So the last part of this is really important for savoring, because what happens is whenever you kind of get that wine in your mouth and then you take a bite of the food, you should really always sip it again over top of the food while it's in your mouth, because what happens is those flavors all pair together. And that's when you really have a great experience, because you're bringing out the flavors that are in the wine. Okay, so make sure, Mandy, that you jotted down my information and that you either text me or email me, and I'll give you a coupon code for $10 off your next order. So awesome. Our goal here is to get everybody $10. Okay. So yeah, and personal palettes are going to range from person to person. You're not always going to like every single wine that you taste. But I always say you never want to yuck somebody's yum, right? So you never want to, if someone, doesn't like something, it's okay, because we all have different palates and we all have different tastes, and that's okay. So that's what this tasting experience is for. All right. So if you are sitting in the room with somebody, I went to a wine tasting one time in our area. Actually, it was the Buckingham Valley Vineyard Tasting and Tours. It was just the Tasting and Tours company, and they're an amazing company, and they drive you around to different vineyards. But my one friend, the driver, called her the dump bucket. So if you ever not, find that you don't like a certain wine, you can always find your closest dump bucket friend, and you can give them the wine to taste. Okay, so that's kind of fun. So if it's not for you, it might be for somebody else that you know. All right. So what you're going to do tonight is you'll take a sip of the wine, bite a piece of the chocolate, hold on to it on your tongue. And then when the chocolate begins to dissolve, take another sip of the wine, and then let that chocolate and the wine mingle together before you swallow it. All right. So let's start off. We're going to start off with our sparkling brut, or our rosé. So personally, I love a good bubbly. I don't know if anybody else likes a good bubbly. But go ahead, if you like bubbly, go ahead and just comment or raise your hand or give me a thumbs up. One of those things, let me know you love bubbly. And we'll get started with that. So I have a couple different bubblies. As you can see here, I am right in the background. I kind of always decide to put this background behind me because it makes me feel like I'm actually at our vineyard. And the winery that I explained, ONEHOPE, is actually behind me in this picture. So here's the pool. And then right through these doors in the back is actually the vineyard behind the pool, through those doors. Okay, so it is a gorgeous property. And our brut is going to be the first one. So I said on the tasting notes tonight that we were going to be sampling either the brut or the sparkling rosé. So if you have any sparkling wine tonight, or even the sparkling Moscato, you can go ahead and take that one out. This one here is one of my top favorite wines that we have. It's super popular. The sparkling brut is a 90-point award-winning wine, and it is the perfect bubbly if you like a mimosa too. So do we have any mimosa drinkers? Yeah, so you're definitely going to want to try the sparkling brut. It is by far the most popular. Even if you just want to drink it by itself or add a little bit of juice, it's perfect for that. So if you have, a piece of paper and pen, definitely write down any recommendations that I have, if you like any of the wines. But this one is pineapple, citrus, and crisp apple. And it pairs well with fish and chips, lemon tart, bubble baths, and unicorns. So they always put some fun facts on the back of the bottle. That's one thing. Another thing that I love about our bottles is that you're going to find all those tasting notes directly on the back of the bottle for our Vintner collection wine. So it's perfect. Okay. So really, really do enjoy that. This is one of those bottles that has helped feed over 3 million children. So it's pretty special. All right. Now, my favorite mimosa, I don't know if anybody has a favorite way to have a mimosa, but I love it with any of the Simply brand juices. It's a really good brand of juices. They have so many different kinds of flavors. I love with peach. They have a peach strawberry that's really good. They have a raspberry lemonade that's really good with the brut. Mango, pineapple. You could really do anything. My favorite way to have a mimosa in the fall is doing an apple cider mimosa. So just keep this in the back of your head because you will love this. If you take cinnamon sugar and you rim your glass with it, and then you put brut in there and top it with apple cider, you can make a really delicious apple cider mimosa, and it's just perfect for fall. Okay, so that is our sparkling brut. Now, if you like something a little bit sweeter, as it is, okay, no worries, Mandy. If you like something a little bit sweeter, you can try the sparkling Moscato. Okay, so sparkling Moscato is the perfect one for sweet wine drinkers. This one is notes of citrus blossom, tangy mandarin, lemon drop, and juicy white peach. Okay, so really, really good. It's very sweet. So if you're a Moscato fan, this is definitely a must try. Okay, sparkling Moscato. Now, if you like little tiny mini bottles, this is super cute. These come in a case of 12. Okay, these are our sparkling brut bottles, what I just shared, the first bottle that I shared. They come in a case of 12 and they're just the perfect size to just have one mimosa or one glass of wine. So they also make a great gift. They're perfect for favors. You can stick them right inside of a glass and then with a little bit of tissue paper, maybe some fun wine swag or socks, and they just are that great gift to have on hand. So sometimes I don't like to open up a full bottle. So these are just really great to have on hand. And you can do that little trick I mentioned where you decide you want a mimosa, you just wrap it in a wet paper towel and then you pop it in the freezer and it's, ready for you in 15 minutes. So that's really super helpful. Okay. Now, if you haven't taken a sip of this one, you'll want to try it with like a strawberry white chocolate or raspberry white chocolate or just a plain old white chocolate. Okay. So that's really good with any of our sparkling wines. So give that one a try using that method that I suggested. And then we also have the sparkling rosé. So the sparkling rosé is definitely coming up to be the perfect wine to have during the springtime. Okay, so sparkling rosé is one that we like to have, and I love to do friends and frosé tastings. So frosé is a really fun way to take a sparkling rosé or even our vintner rosé, which is super delicious, and you put it into ice cube trays and freeze it. And then what you can do is pop them out of the freezer, stick it in a blender, and add a little bit of limoncello and simple syrup. You blend it all together, and then you can garnish it with strawberry or watermelon, and you have yourself a delicious frozen slushy drink. Okay, so that is one way to make our sparkling rosé or vintner rosé sweeter. Okay, and this one here is going to be floral, wild berry, pipe and apple. Pairs well with smoked salmon, strawberry salad, hammocks, and giggling. So if you have the sparkling rosé and you've tried it with like a strawberry white chocolate, that's where you're going to pull those notes together from the wine and the chocolate. And that's where the pairing just kind of like melts together and it forms a great duo for you to taste. Okay. So I don't know, what did everybody try? Jim and I'm sorry, I don't know, Jim and what's your
And our daughter Laura, who's off camera. So
okay.
we have the sparkling brut, and we have, what is this chocolate?
It's white chocolate with like strawberry.
White chocolate with strawberries.
You just like hit the nose on, you were right on for all your pairings. So what did you think about it? You like the brut?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
already
so
on my second glass.
Yeah. And that one is 90-point award-winning brut. So it is just like the perfect bottle. It's one that it's a go-to. It's just so perfect to have on hand. So love that one. All right. So let's do another trivia. So we have, let's see, which question do we like? Let's see. How many varieties of wine grapes exist in the world today?
Oh, golly.
This is actually like a pretty fun fact. I never knew this either.
It's a huge number.
And the whole world. Wow.
Yeah. How many exist in the world?
I would say 75. What happened to the chat? Oh, here we go.
If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the.
Yeah.
Jill went with her lucky number 50.
Worked for me last time.
Yeah. 100. Okay, guys. I'm gonna tell you to guess one more time and go big.
Yeah,
Go big.
120.
Go big.
I mean, there's a bunch of grapes. We're talking about grapes like Chardonnay, Pinot Gris.
Yeah. So
How many types?
go big.
Did one go in?
I don't know. Did it?
I see 2,000, 5,000, 5,555, 300, 14,700, and 1,000.
Are
All
we
right.
talking like clones or
What?
like Like specific varietals or like some of the hybrid clones?
Yeah, anything.
All right, well,
Anything. All right, so I think the highest number was 5,555, or is that?
Someone said
Oh,
14,700.
14,000. Okay, good. So you win. 14,700.
Yeah.
So it's 10,000. 10,000 different kinds of grapes. Crazy, right? Is that the
You're gonna
closest?
try them all tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that would be that would be a little bit crazy. So yeah, so text me or message me. You will also get a coupon. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, I never realized that either because you're always thinking of just the typical varietals that you always hear about, which is, like your cab, your Pinot, all those, but there's just so many different varietals and hybrids of different grapes. So it's pretty cool to think about. Okay. So we're going to go to our next one. So this is going to be the sweetest wine that we have. And this one is going to be the Muscat Canelli. So if does anybody have that one?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm so jealous of Jim and his crew over there that you get to experience this. Super fun. Okay, so this is part of our dot collection. So we have a dot collection that we offer. And this is what put ONEHOPE on the map. So this was the very first collection of wine that we had. If you love this and want to try more of the dot collection, these are going to be ones that will sell out because as soon as they're gone, they're gone.
Did you say dot collection?
Yeah,
DOT?
this is the dot collection. So as you can see, the front label
Yeah.
has dots. And the reason why it has dots on it is because it shows the impact that the bottles have made. So I love this because this bottle has helped to fund clinical trials to help find the cure for cancer. So the dots kind of signify, it says today more than 2/3 of those diagnosed with cancer are expected to survive because of innovative treatment options discovered through clinical trials. So you can, I don't know if you can see, it's hard to kind of see on mine, but 2/3 of these dots are darker. Okay, so that kind of signifies and represents the charity that this actually goes toward. All
I have a
right.
question.
Yeah.
Can you tell us anything about the sort of the founders of the winery and what their backgrounds were? Because the what's the saying? If you
want to
wanna-
make $1 million in winery, start with 10.
Yeah, if you want to make $1 million in a winery, start with 10, right? It's an expensive proposition.
So I actually can. So I can tell you, there's a really cool story. So they started very young in their 20s, and they're a group of 8 friends who were in California, and they started literally in the back of a truck. They came up with the idea that they wanted to give back through wine. They decided that they wanted to start making wine. So they collaborated with Robert Mondavi Jr. They started with only 168 cases of wine. And from that, they used to be kind of into retail a lot more. They've been around for about 14 years now. And the winery that you see behind me, that is the flagship winery. And just this spring, they're opening up the winery to the community. So if you visit Napa, you can actually go and do an actual tasting there. So it's pretty cool. So they started with just this vision of, giving back through wine, and one thing led to another. They started in retail as a group of friends, and it's, come out to be this company where they've literally given back over $6 million, and we are very rapidly growing. And the fact that they can now open up to the community and do tastings is great. The only way you can get our wine is through a cause entrepreneur like myself. They do distribute some of the wine to restaurants that have to apply to carry their wine. So you'll see when I talk a little bit later about our hospitality collection that was originally created to distribute to restaurants, but because of COVID, they, kind of stopped that because restaurants weren't open. So I hope that answers your question, but they, they're an amazing group of friends who really have built this business and have such huge hearts. They really do. The mission is amazing, what they've been able to do. So, all right. So we've got our Muscat Canelli here. This one has aromas of orange blossoms, lemon zest, and hints of zinger tea. Jump out of onto the glass. Flavors of white peach and lemon drop candy linger, and then it makes a sweet finish. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be our sweetest wine that we have. This one's going to pair exceptionally well with the sweetness of another white chocolate, maybe something with an exotic fruit, like maybe a passion fruit or a citrus white chocolate would go really well with this one, because it does have that white peach, the orange blossom in it. So this is going to be the sweetest wine. And if you love Moscato, like I said, try the sparkling Moscato because you will like that as well. It's a really good choice. Okay. We also have another Moscato. It's called the North Coast Reserve Muscat. So anytime you see Muscat, it's Moscato. It's the same varietal. Okay. So those are our 3 Moscatos. Does anybody have this one to try?
Well, we're trying it.
You're trying it. So are you all 3 of you sweet wine drinkers, or do you typically go with dry?
We're pretty
Dry.
much Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay. Oh, I have a really good recommendation then for you. And we'll talk about all those, whatever everybody likes. Why don't you guys all do that? So go ahead and drop in the comments what you typically drink. If you drink wine, drop in the comments what you typically drink. So then that way I know what to share more about. Because we do have about 40 varietals of wine. So there's something for everybody. There's something for all price ranges. There's definitely a lot of good wines to choose from. Okay. So if I know what you drink, then I can help a little bit more. Good. So Angela likes Moscato. And Teresa likes Cab or Pinot Noir. Me too. Love those. And what else do we like? Any other wine drinkers? Oh, Cab Merlot, Chardonnay, Penny. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to take a brief kind of like break from the chocolate tasting and tell you about some of the dry whites because you're not tasting any of those tonight unless you purchase them for yourselves. So I'll briefly tell you about those dry whites. Now, the dry whites are some of my favorites. And I know there's that saying, once daylight savings time hits, like, people go from red to red to white. I drink all wines all year round, but I would definitely say I'm more of a seasonal drinker. So I love dry wines, but definitely once it gets a little bit, nicer, warmer out, I tend to switch to like the Pinot Grigio, the Chardonnay, the Sauvignon Blancs. So the drier whites to the drier reds. So a couple of them that I love, I just want to give these a little bit of a shout out because we have some amazing dry whites. This one is already drank, but so you can't see the color of it, but I keep my bottles. So if you love a good Sauvignon Blanc, you're going to want to definitely try the Rutherford Sauvignon Blanc. So the Rutherford Sauvignon Blanc, there's a couple Sauvignon Blancs. We have the Vintner Sauvignon Blanc, and then we have the Rutherford Sauvignon Blanc. This one is a limited edition, and it's actually made from our Fumé Blanc, which is made on our estate, and also our Reserve Estate 8 Sauvignon Blanc. Both of those Sauvignon Blancs are reserves and they're award winning. So we're putting them into a Vintner bottle wine, and it's creating this limited edition Rutherford. And it's Rutherford because it's from our Rutherford vineyard. This one tastes exactly like you are sitting on an island with your toes in the sand. No joke. When I tasted this one, I was like, please just take me to an island. This one is guava, lemon, and lime. So if you like a good New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, this is a great one to try. So that's Rutherford. This one has helped plant trees. All right. So it pairs well with guava, grapefruit, tropical flip-flops. Okay. So like I said, toes in the sand. It's the perfect Sauvignon Blanc. Love it. Okay. Also our Fumé Blanc. If you want to try a really good reserve white, dry white, the Fumé Blanc is delicious. Fumé Blanc is also made on our estate. It's award winning, and it actually means white smoke, which I never knew. Just a little fun fact. Okay. And it's made from Sauvignon Blanc grapes, a varietal of grapes. Okay. And then I also want to point out We do have a Vintner Pinot Grigio. If you are a Pinot Grigio fan, it has a new label on it. I don't currently have it around my whole area, so I can't share the bottle with you, but that one is also super yummy. Okay. I love the Pinot Grigio or any of our dry whites with like seafood. I even put them in, shrimp scampi recipes or lemon chicken or, chicken with capers. Really, any of those would be delicious with that. And then our Chardonnays, I don't know if anybody likes Chardonnay, but this one really, really stands out to me. I want to share this one with you because this one's on sale. So through the month of March, we've had various flash sales. So we have a different flash sale every single week. This week, we have 20% off, additional 20% off of our 3 hospitality collection wines. And those are the wines I was mentioning that they were produced just for restaurants. So they have this on the label, which is the mountains behind the vineyard. This is our hospitality collection Chardonnay, different from our Vintner Chardonnay. And it seriously, these flavors that are listed on the bottle, they literally jump out of the glass. Like, it's so good. Very, very unique Chardonnay. It's a pineapple, baked apple, banana, and toasted coconut. So if you like those flavors, you definitely want to give this one a try. It's so delicious. Okay. So just wanted to point those out for those of you who are dry white wine likers. And let's just do a quick trivia before our next wine. So let's see. I did that one. How about, how many grapes does it take to make a standard bottle of wine? How many grapes does it take to make a standard bottle of wine?
I give up.
I'll say,
I would say don't go as big as you did on the last one. It's not quite as many. To make one bottle of wine.
One bottle of wine?
One
Mhm.
bottle. Yeah.
500.
So I see a 350, 1,000, 500. Let's see. 250. I see a 100. Awesome. Okay, Teresa, you are the closest. Awesome. So it's actually 200 grapes. So about 200 grapes or 2.5 pounds of grapes. Okay, so that's a pretty fun fact too. So I don't know if anybody has seen wine being, I've done it in the area. If you live in Bucks County, which I think probably most of you do, Wycombe Vineyard actually has a harvest party every fall. And this is super fun to try. So if you definitely haven't tried this, give it a try. A lot of local wineries have machinery that actually gets to, take the grapes off the vines and all that. But they're such a small family run winery that they actually use people. So they use volunteers to actually pick their grapes, and then they throw you a party after you do it. So if you ever want to try that in the fall, you can sign up with them and actually go through that process of picking the grapes, and they feed you and have a little picnic, but it's just like a really fun experience. So if you enjoy something like that, just a little plug for a local winery. Really fun. Okay. So we're going to go to our next one next, and that is going to be any of our reds. So not the cab, but if you have any of the Pinot Noir, the Vintner Pinot Noir, the Vintner Merlot, the Vintner Red Blend. Okay, that's the one that you want to try.
Pardon?
Okay, and those are, what'd you say?
So, Jen, I'm sorry to interrupt. Mandy's actually in the waiting room. She's trying.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see that.
I just wanted to let you know. No problem. Thank you.
She's back. Let's wait till she hops back on. Yay, she's back. Okay. Hi, Mandy. All right. So Mandy, you just missed, what did we just do? We went over dry white wines and we went over, I think that was it. So, and the Muscat Nelly, the sweet wine. Okay. So we are going to move on to our medium bodied reds. So that would be our Vintner Pinot Noir, Vintner Red Blend, or Vintner Merlot. Okay. So those are your medium bodied. Now our Vintner Pinot Noir, I think I have that bottle right here. So that's right here. This is another one of our award-winning wines. Okay, so our Vintner collection has a ton of award winners. This one is bright cherries and strawberries with hints of cola. And the fruit is layered with fresh soil notes of earth and spice. Okay, so you'll notice a lot of times when you pour your Pinot Noir, it's a lot lighter in color than a lot of our other reds. And that is because they don't use as much of the skin of the grape, right? So that's what makes it a little bit different. So silky tannins stretch through the finish, creating beautiful length and richness. Okay. Now, our Pinot Noir in the past has helped to fund pet adoption. Okay. This is going to be your most versatile of wines with pairing. Pinot Noir is a varietal that kind of really goes with anything. It really goes with a lot. Is it naked? Is it fake? Wait. Do you mean in oak?
Is it oaked? Every time I change, it kept changing all these words. I'm like, what is it doing? I wanted to know if it was heavily oaked.
No, I don't find it to be oaky.
Okay.
No. Yeah. This one pairs well with grilled salmon, brownies, barbecues, helping animals. Okay. Yeah. So this one's going to be your most versatile to pair with anything, but also with chocolate. So you could do a white chocolate with this, strawberry white chocolate with this one. You could do a creamy milk chocolate with this one. I think the milk chocolate tastes the best with this one. The milk chocolate mousse. You could do anything with this one. And just make sure you're going through your 4 S's of wine tasting. Okay. So I find the Pinot Noir to just be a smooth, really easy drinking red. Now we do have several other Pinot Noirs too. So if you're looking for something a little bit more bold, then you're going to want to try our reserve Pinot Noirs, like the Monterey County Pinot Noir, which is also an award-winning one. We have the Russian River. We have several different Pinot Noirs. So if you're looking for something bolder, then you're going to want to try the reserve collection of the Pinot Noirs. Okay, this is just a really easy drinking one, I think.
Right. Question?
Yeah.
So we have the Red Blend California, which is what we're having now. Do you know what the blends, what's in it?
You took my next trivia question.
Well,
So that's our next wine. So go ahead, and if you can guess the 3 different varietals of grapes that are in our red blend.
okay.
What do you think? And while you do that, I'm just gonna run to my door real quick, right in my office. I'm gonna grab something.
Cab Franc is Cab C.
Cab Franc Ganache.
Yep.
F-R-A-N-C.
So let's see what 3 varietals do you think are in
And Zen. I don't know.
our red blend?
4.
Now, the red blend that you are drinking, Jim and crew, is a 97-point award-winning red blend.
Very tasty.
So it is our highest rated wine. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers to that is right. And guess what? If you like it so much, it's on sale this week. It's an extra 20% off because it's
How
part
about
of our hospitality collection. So we have the hospitality collection Chardonnay, the one I was raving about. And then we have the hospitality Cabernet Sauvignon, and we have the hospitality red blend. So
What was the Pinot called? Monterey? And we have the it's not
Monterey
open, it's-
County.
yeah, Monterey Pinot, which
That's also an award-winning wine too. That's a reserve, so that one's going to be a little bit bolder than our Vintner Pinot Noir. Okay, so did anybody else guess Pinot Noir, Cab Franc, Grenache, Zinfandel? Okay, so it is actually, is anybody else gonna guess? No? Okay, so it is made of Cab, so Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Zinfandel.
Oh, Zin, you said Zinla.
Okay,
We got 1 out of 3.
yeah, 1 out of 3.
Three.
We said Cab Franc, not Cabernet.
You also said Merlot.
Did we say Merlot?
Yeah.
No, you said Ganache.
She
Good
did
enough.
say Merlot.
Oh, okay.
That's
You know
very
what? You tried, so I'm gonna give you bonus points for that. You get $10 too. Everybody just
Right,
gets
all right.
$10.
Like Oprah Winfrey.
nice.
Yeah, you get a discount and you get a discount and you get a discount. Yeah, so it is made of those 3 grapes. What's really, really fun to do, I don't know if anybody has ever tried this before, but we have several different varietals, different kinds of just that one varietal. So what I love doing is I'll get like all 4 of our red blends, and you can line them up side by side from lightest to boldest. And you could just do a red blend tasting. So that would be our California red blend would be the sweetest. And then our Vintner red blend, our Hospitality Collection red blend, which is what Jim and crew is drinking. And then our Napa Valley Reserve red blend. So that's gonna be your boldest. But it's kind of fun. You can do that with our cabs, our Cabernet Sauvignon, and you could also do that with all of our Pinot Noirs. So we have several of each of those varietals that you could do a side-by-side tasting to find which out one, one that you really love. You could also do it with our Chardonnay. We have a Vintner Chardonnay, a Hospitality Collection Chardonnay, an Elway Chardonnay. So we have, from California Collection all the way to Reserve. So it's kind of fun to do something like that. But our red blend, and I have the Vintner red blend here. This is a 96-point award-winning red blend. So if you want to try another great award-winning red blend, the Vintner red blend is a good one. It's kind of on par with the one that you're drinking, the Hospitality Collection red blend. But this one is berry cobbler, spice, and cocoa powder. Pairs well with grilled bacon burgers, berry pie, and stargazing. Okay. This is aromas of orange spice, clove, graham cracker, chocolate, toasted marshmallow. Tasting notes, I explained those. And it's primarily, like I said, a blend of Zinfandel, Cab, and Merlot grapes. Okay. So this one you could do with a lot of different chocolates as well. I love just your milk chocolate with this one. I also really enjoy a raspberry chocolate. So if you have some sort of raspberry chocolate with this one, and the reason being is because it has that berry note to it. So it brings out the berries in the wine. So it pairs really nicely together. So what did you think about that one?
Very good.
Good, good.
We did our
Now-
homework.
You did do your homework. I'm super impressed. I'm a teacher full-time, so you get an A+.
Okay.
You did a good job prepping for this. Okay, and then we are going to do our last wine. And our last wine is going to be our boldest of the night. It's not the boldest wine that we carry, but it's the boldest varietal that we carry. And that's going to be our ONEHOPE Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, so our ONEHOPE Cab is one of my personal favorites. It's my husband's favorite too. We are wine club subscription members just for Cab. We really love the Cab a lot. This one's full of baked blackberry. Okay. Loads of roasted coffee and cocoa notes are on the palate for this one. Hints of sage leaves and the slightest touch of paprika. This one is fine structure and leathery tannins make this one a remarkable wine. Tasting profile, black cherry, chocolate, and vanilla. And it pairs well with beef fillet, baklava, new haircuts, and charades. So a really fun one for game night. Oh, good. Thanks, Penny. Okay.
See you guys.
Bye, Penny. Now with this one here, I love, love, love a good dark chocolate. So if you have a dark chocolate, I love this one. Also anything peanut butter. So a good peanut butter cup pairs perfectly with Cab. Okay, so peanut butter cups, dark chocolate raspberry, dark chocolate sea salt, any of those are going to go really well with this one. We love this Cab. It's so good. And then we also have that Hospitality Collection Cab that is on sale for an additional 20% off. So if you want to do a good Cab tasting, This one is what the hospitality cab looks like. This is dark berries, violet plums, and chocolate. So again, it's going to pair really well with that chocolate. And that one is good too. Okay. And we also, if you want something even bolder, we have the Napa Valley Reserve cab. Okay. So that one's going to be your boldest. Okay. So let's go ahead and end the trivia. That's the end of our wine. Let's end the trivia with just one more question. Okay. Let's pick a good one. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. How much wine is consumed throughout the world each year? And this is in liters, just to let you know.
Liters.
So guess in liters. Guess in liters.
Tons.
Wait a minute.
No, if you could type.
Countless. Yeah, Mandy, that's a good guess. Countless. Now, this answer could be different from like 2019 to 2020 to 2021, right? It might have increased slightly, right?
It's at 500 million. I think that's low.
So you're guessing in terms of liters.
Ah.
All right. So we have countless, 500 million, 50 billion, a buttload, more than you can count in liters. I love these answers. They're fabulous.
Well, isn't a buttload? It's a term for like a barrel, a butt.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good trivia question, though.
It is.
Thank you. I will use
So,
that.
so says my daughter. So if it's not true, it's her.
Butler comes from.
That's where the term buttload comes from.
Butler.
I didn't know that. That's a good fact. Thank you. All right. So our answer is, just lost my place here. It's over 24.7 billion liters.
Yeah, it's a lot.
24.7 billion liters. So Angela, you're the closest. You guessed 50 billion. So did anybody not win? I think everybody won, right?
Yes, 500
Good.
million.
Okay, so everybody, you're all winners, right? So you're all winners. So before I let you go, keep on drinking your wine. I wanted to share something new that just came to us, okay? So before we scheduled this tasting, we did not have these beautiful kits. So I wanted to share with this is something new. And, oh, you can't really see it, sorry. I'm gonna take myself off. Give me a second. I'm gonna take myself off this virtual background so you can actually see what I'm showing. Okay, so we just came out with a virtual tasting kit. So I love this and I wanted to just quickly share it with you because if you know of anybody else that would love to do a tasting like this, or maybe you want to have your own personal tasting with friends and family, or maybe you decide as a nonprofit that you'd like to try this again, this is an amazing option. So you open it up and it just says, welcome to the heart of Napa. And it has this beautiful packaged box and you open it and it has this great little guide here for you with all of your tasting notes. So you get these cute little cards that show you exactly the tasting notes for every wine. They're all pictured and you can take notes. And then it comes with a coupon for $15 off your next order. Okay, so this is really fun. It has these little mini bottles and it's called a tasting flight. So this is what it looks like. It's super cute. And there are little mini bottles. So we have our ONEHOPE Brut, the sparkling brut that I just shared with you. It comes with the California Chardonnay, the Vintner Chardonnay, the Vintner Pinot Noir, and then the last one is the Vintner Cab. So it just makes a really, really fun tasting experience if you want to try, some different wines. So I think it's a really great price too. It's only $39 shipped, and it comes with, like I said, a coupon for $15 off of your full-size order for that particular event. So if anyone is interested in trying out one of these tasting flights, you have to be either part of a virtual event, so it would have to be a new event, or you would need to be a brand new customer to order one. But it's just the perfect way to do something like this virtually and have everyone taste those wines. So just wanted to throw it out there just so you know, when we scheduled this wasn't an option, but I just thought it's really kind of fun. And it gives a really easy way to taste. Okay, so that's our virtual tasting kit that just came out. There are 3 different ways that you can order with ONEHOPE. So I know many of you already placed your orders, but you can actually order single bottles if you prefer. You don't get any discount off of those bottles by single bottles, but we do start discounts at 4 bottles or more. So if you like what you saw tonight or want to reorder or refill, take advantage of the sale that's going on this week. We have the sale that's this week, and then we'll have another one that starts next Tuesday for those flash sales. And what's really cool is you can layer on those discounts. So we do offer 5% off of any 4 to 5 bottles, 10% off of 6 to 11, and then we offer 20% off of 12 or more. And then whatever the flash sale is, you can layer on top of that. So if you got hospitality collection wines, you would get an additional 20% off. All right. Then we have what we call our shimmer bottles. So I don't have a gold one here, but this is a silver one, and this one is an etched one. So we have a happy birthday one, we have a home sweet home one, we have bridal bottles, but this is the plain silver. The plain gold shimmer bottle, which is our sparkling brut, is also an additional 20% off. So that's this same wine that's our sparkling brut, but it's in a gold shimmer bottle. So if you love shimmer, you should stock up on those this week because they're on sale for an additional 20% off. Okay. So that's our first way to purchase. And then you can get those discounts. If you really love wine, you should think about subscribing. So just like you would do, Amazon Prime or any sort of subscription, you can subscribe for your wine, skip the liquor store, skip the wine store, and you get your wine delivered to you every single month. Or you could do 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months. So you pick your frequency and you pick your quantity of wine, and that way you get free shipping every single time that you order. Okay, so every time you order 4 bottles or more, you get free shipping even between shipments. So that's a great way to never have to go to the liquor store at all. I know me with 2 young kids, I don't like doing that. So I love when the FedEx comes, FedEx truck comes to my door. It's kind of like the ice cream truck for moms and dads. So that's how I think of it. So you can do that as well. And then you get the same discounts on your wine, but like I said, you get free shipping. And then we do offer a third option, which is our wine club. So our wine club is when our winemaker, Mari Coyle, she selects 6 wines that are already curated, and she ships them to you 4 times a year. So you get 1 shipment a quarter. You get 6 bottles that she selects based off of whatever the season is. You always get an exclusive bottle that are only available to wine club members. This quarter that's ending this month is our hospitality collection Pinot Noir, which is delicious. And then you always get free shipping. Okay. You can change your wines as well with the subscription in between shipments as well. So you can change them, go into your account. So if anybody plans on ordering, just make sure that you create a free customer account, because you are earning reward points with ONEHOPE every single time that you order. So that's something that's very different than, just buying wine from the liquor store. They don't reward you or pay you back for your wine purchases, and ONEHOPE does. So you are earning free wine by buying ONEHOPE. Just every time you order, make sure you use your customer account and they're logging your points, and you just keep accumulating them. And then at checkout, you can redeem them. Okay. And we have lots of gift sets and gift boxes and things like that. We even offer, if you are part of a business, or maybe you want a gift for an event, we do custom logo etched bottles as well. So you can get logos put on our shimmer bottles, which are really, really fun. Okay, so there are the 3 opportunities for purchasing. And then the last one, if you really love wine and you just want a discount, that's the way I started this business. You can always join me in wine. It's only $29 to start. And we have wine kits with wine as well. So you can do what I do, get a discount, give back to all the nonprofits that you support all year round. That's personally why I joined. I'm a huge supporter of the March of Dimes in memory of my son who passed away almost 10 years ago. So I, give back to the March of Dimes all year round, just through funneling wine purchases through that. So we, are so happy that we can give back all year round. So if you want this to become a standard thing where you're giving back to Nova, you can even, continue to create an event link and keep on giving back through your wine. Okay, so, oh, good. I'm so happy. Thank you, everybody. So I'm just reading the messages. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post my info or the event link at the end. So if you didn't go ahead and jot that down, you can. And if all of you earned $10 off. So if you want to either text me or email me, you can, and I will give you a code to do that and take advantage of whatever you want to refill or try. So many options. And if you need any recommendations at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. So does anybody have any questions before we end for tonight?
I do.
Yeah. No questions? You all look very busy. Writing something down. Well, it was such a pleasure being on here tonight. Thank you, Jill, for having me. It
So
was
much,
so
Jenna.
much
It
fun.
was fun, and we really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you, Jenna. This was fun.
Sure. Yep. So I'll stick around for a couple minutes. I'm going to end the recording. But if anybody has